Good morning, everyone. Good to see you. Really nice to see you here as I introduce the MKT102 Consumer Behaviour subject. My name is Shane Murphy, and I welcome you to this online experience, and really look forward to facilitating, your learning experience in this sort of exciting new world that we're living in, where we can do this in an online space. So I'm just going to get into this because this is a short introduction just to introduce myself a little bit, where I'm coming from, and just an overview of support in the assessments, and then there will be another video that I'll post that will talk to the assessment specifically. So my background is about 15 to 20 years of marketing experience. My specialty areas are actually consumer behaviour, digital marketing, and also entertainment-based marketing. And so I have a lot of varied experience. I ran an IT recruitment company in Sydney for a few years, a lot of consulting experience, a lot of training, education experience. In the entertainment marketing space, I worked for many years in the music industry, working for record labels, and also was involved in the development of Music Oz, which is an independent sort of event artist management style company. And in recent years, as I said, I've been more focused on consulting in the digital marketing and the social media spaces. Have been teaching at APM for about 12 years now, which is fantastic to have that connection. But I also do teaching at Southern Cross University. I've taught at Griffith University. I've taught at South Bank TAFE. I've taught at some of the conservatoriums of music, arts-based marketing skills, and so on. I have been teaching consumer behaviour for at least 10 years, and it is a passion subject of mine. One of the reasons that I really love consumer behaviour is it's deep, and if you understand consumer behaviour really well, then this augurs well for developing what I think can be really good marketing strategy with really good rationale behind your strategies. It is a marketing fundamental subject, so it's something that you'd learn in any degree around the world. And what I particularly like about consumer behaviour is its cross-disciplinary in nature. I'm fascinated with the psychology behind it, and I hope you get something out of that, because there is a lot of theory. I won't pretend to say that this subject is an easy subject. There is a lot of reading and a lot of contemplation required for this subject, so make sure that you make use of the support network and discussion forums if you've got issues along the way and want to talk about a certain theory and get some light shed on it by myself or perhaps some of the other students, even better. So it is cross-disciplinary, and it moves through psychology and anthropology and marketing and economics and things like that. But there's a lot of psychology, consumer-based psychology. There's a great program on ABC called the Gruen Transfer that really focuses a lot of on consumer behaviour and marketing strategies and why marketers do what they do. So this subject is all about explaining that. Particularly good to learn a little bit about yourself as well, particularly in the personality development theory and the motivational theory. I think it's really good opportunities for us to self-reflect. And also it sort of helps you understand other people and how they tick. So it allows you to become a better manager, I feel, this subject, particularly all that the psychology-based content. The other aspect is understanding consumers, what makes them tick, which makes us better marketers, because we can better cater to their needs by understanding consumers. They are highly complex creatures, consumers, we all are. And what we see on the surface is one thing, but what actually is driving us in the unconscious beneath the surface is another thing altogether. And some people may be aware of this, other people may not be aware of it. So there's a lot of unconscious drivers that drives consumer behaviour, particularly around the area of meeting psychological needs. And the last thing to reflect on, whilst it's useful for us to look at ourselves as consumers, and you're going to be doing that in the diary activity, in fact, the written assessment activity, it's also very useful to realise that our consumer behaviour and the way that we view our consumption behaviour is often quite different for other people. So one of the things I like to let students know is to try and leave your shoes at the door, keep an open mind, and realise that yes, as I said, the way that you view the way people may act in certain situations, just realise that other people may be behaving quite differently to yourself. So one of the great skills of becoming a very good marketer is the ability to market research with objectivity. So moving right along, so some great support for our online teaching environment at APM. In this particular subject, you've got a great core text that has huge amounts of valuable information in that. You can cross-reference the core text with the content in the subject guide. You may prefer to use one over the other if it's making more sense to you. And yeah, the subject outline goes through the topics, outlines, and gives you an overview of the assessments. The assessments are catered for in more detail when you click on the written assessment link. Any of the assessments, it describes the assessment there on the portal, and I will be making another video talking to the assessment specifically. The thing I wanted to highlight for you is I've just created a whole series of lecture presentations for each subject, and this is where I've sort of cherry-picked the theories and the ideas out of the textbook and the subject guide and from my own experience with consumer behaviour. And so I provided some lecture presentations that sort of summarise a lot of the content, and this is going to be the focus of the exam material. So make sure that you download those lecture presentations. They're in PDF format. There's a lot of examples and marketing applications. I'm very mindful of, in a subject that's so theoretical like this, to pull in the theory and apply it to actual marketing, and how does this make us better marketers, and what can we do there? And that's what really fascinates me with this subject. I think it gives you the tools to understand why you roll out certain strategies over other strategies, because you think they're going to be more effective in changing consumer behaviour and affecting and influencing people. So those lecture presentations, yeah, I spent a bit of time putting those together, and I've also included at least one video each week, and one reading. This is for students who want to go more in depth and explore further the concepts that we're covering. As I said, there's a lot of content there. I particularly like some of the videos there because it gives you an opportunity to sort of more passively receive the information rather than reading all the time. So there's a lecture presentation in each week, there's a video in each week, and there's a reading in each week that relates to the topic. So you've got plenty of material and support for this subject. The discussion board is a general discussion board for general course questions, and then I'm setting up the discussion board each week for you to share your views on the topic, to share anything that you've seen that you think relates to the topic, and I'll also be posing my own sort of questions and considerations. There's not a huge amount of detail I'm expecting, in terms of your responses at the discussion board. It's more important that you actually engage and you're active in that space, because it makes us feel like we're more connected as a class and as a group. And particularly consumer behaviour, it's great to have some discussions happening around the topic areas. It gives us more clarity and enriches our learning experience. The coffee shop's there for you guys for social interaction, or I can go into the coffee shop and post personal questions or share personal aspects. So that's what the coffee shop button there is. If you click on that and go in there, and you can post a personal thread. The email is best contact for me, direct contact to me. So that's great. I've got a 24-hour turnaround there, and I'm also going to make myself available for consultations between 1 to 2 p.m. on Skype on Wednesdays. So if you've got any prior questions to, wanting to have a chat with me, you can post that via an email prior to the session, and I'll have short little blocks assigned for the between 1 to 2 in those sessions. That also might be useful leading up to exams. In terms of academic skills, and referencing and writing reports, I'm sure that you guys probably have done a little bit of this by now, but there's a great academic skills section on the portal, and if you haven't checked it out, please check it out, because it's really valuable. It gives you some great tips on writing reports, great tips on presentation, even presentation skills there, and also tips on referencing. So moving right along, expectations, check into the portal at least twice a week, especially the discussion forums. Keep up to date with your readings, and if you've got any problems with the assessments, please let me know as soon as possible. We like to be fair to all students, so we like to strictly stick to deadlines, and if you can't meet a deadline, then you need to go through a process of special consideration. So you'll need to get in touch with online services who approve special consideration. So that's really important there. So we've got assessment-wise, which I'll talk in another video too. We've got 2 quizzes. You've got a written assessment of 2,000 words, and an exam. And as I said, online services will let you know the details of how exams are administered, and you can ring them up to talk about that because there's a specific process there, but those exams will be conducted in an online environment. So look, I'm really wishing you all the best. I hope you learned some fantastic theories around consumer behaviour. I hope you understand and learn more about yourself. I hope that you understand about the psychology of others, and we can take these tools to then develop better marketing strategies and better marketing practice. So have a great semester, and if you need anything, let me know.